Hey everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Awakening Podcast. This is your host, Cosmic Colleen, back with another weekly astrology update. Now, all the action in the week is going to be at the end of the week. We're going to be picking things up, and the energy of this full moon will begin on Thursday morning, the 22nd. Now, Venus will conjunct Mars on that Thursday in the sign of Aquarius, and this energy will kind of lead into the full moon. I'm going to be talking about that on this week's episode. Then, Friday morning, so as soon as we enter Friday morning, February 23rd, 2:28 a.m., Mercury moves into Pisces. Then on the 23rd at 7:38 p.m., the moon moves into Virgo and begins this full moon energy. Then Saturday the 24th, 7:30 a.m., East Coast time, we got the full moon in Virgo. And then while we're still in this full moon in Virgo, the moon then moves opposite Saturn and Pisces, which has now been there for almost a year. And then it will trine Jupiter. And then on Saturday in the evening, we got Venus squared Jupiter. So the biggest people that are going to be feeling this week's transits are going to be my fixed signs as well as my mutable signs. My cardinal signs, you guys are left out of this a little bit. The Capricorn, my Libra, Cancer, Aries, you guys are out of this mix. You guys are going to have a pretty normal, I guess you could say, full moon week. Now, we're going to start at the beginning of the week. We got Venus conjunct Mars in the sign of Aquarius. Also, happy Pisces season. We're out of Aquarius season, which I don't know how you feel, but this was an extra rough Aquarius season with Pluto moving into Aquarius at the beginning of the season. And then, like I had said on last week's episode, each planet then conjuncted Pluto in the very beginning of Aquarius. And there was just a lot of, I don't know, early shadows coming out, you could say, amongst everything. Go back and listen to some of my episodes if you guys missed those to really get an idea of what the flavor was with Aquarius season. But Pisces season, I'm ready for that kickoff. Now, again, for my Aquarius placements, this is going to be a little horoscope for you guys. Now, y'all will have harmony or creating harmony and integrating harmony within your shadows, especially the ones that have come up for you since the beginning of Aquarius season with the Pluto, with Pluto conjuncting all those planets as it passed through the season. And if you have a lot of Aquarius placements, or any of the big three in Aquarius, this was pretty loud and proud for you guys. Hopefully the pride comes afterwards, but it was definitely loud and maybe punched a few surprise holes into your life, you could say. Some shocking waves came through. So when we have Venus conjunct Mars, the conjunction is a blend of energies. It's a blend of planets. So there is good and there can be bad with those both things. Not usually too bad though. It's usually never, it's like right in the middle. You know what I mean? Like a nice perfect temperature. It doesn't go too much one way or the other, but it can definitely pack a little bit of a punch. And this will be good for a breakthrough. So again, for you guys, what came to me was integrating and finding harmony within those shadows or those life holes that showed up for your life over Aquarius season. Now, this can also, and this is for the rest of us, combining masculine and feminine energy for a great benefit. Or, maybe you're just doing it within yourself and you're kind of integrating both sides, or you're welcoming both sides. Maybe you've been extremely feminine and you're like, you know what, I need to get in touch with my masculine side a little bit, and vice versa. This can also show up in the workplace where there's harmony amongst the masculine and the feminine. This can show up with parents. There can be some healing amongst the masculine and the feminine within the parental as well as family dynamics. I think in general this week, so you guys, my news people out there who will sometimes send me articles when I make these predictions, I think we're going to hear the middle of the week to the end of the week, we're going to hear more about equality stuff. I don't know, a blend of energies. It might be good or bad. There could be, I think it will be overall positive though, like some breakthroughs, especially happening in Aquarius season. Aquarius energy is very much about the underdog. It loves equality. It kind of likes to come in strong and fast and make a point of things being equal. So I really feel like we're going to be hearing in the news, or maybe you'll hear in your own like local community or your school, That's sort of something around equality of the masculine and feminine energy. And also, this is a good one that I'm really kind of liking for this week, is conquering past, like a self-love negativity loop. Let's say you've been lacking in self-love somewhere and not really fully like accepting that part of yourself. And again, especially for my Aquarius, but really my Leo placements as well, because this is going to be happening opposite your Leo sun. So the opposite will really bring into focus into your life. So, you're conquering past that negative loop you were in, that loop that was saying, hey, I'm not good enough, or I'm not strong enough, or I'm not smart enough, or whatever that negative self-talk that maybe can get a little more critical, I feel like, especially when Mercury is in the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. So you're really breaking through that, and you're going to have a little bit better or more positive self-belief within yourself. You're going to say, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad dude. I can get past this. I can do this. I can go and really have some faith. So I'm excited with that. So really focus in on practicing that negative self-loop talk. And even if you're not quite sure and you don't have a lot of awareness about where you are, like sort of self-deprecating or not having a lot of faith in yourself or not showing a lot of self-love, you can just sit with yourself, sit quietly with no distractions in your room, maybe put on some relaxing frequencies and just think. Do you guys ever do that? Is that just all this like Mercury with inside myself? I'll just sit in my room sometimes for longer than I'd like to admit, and I'll just be thinking and I'll process. And sometimes that's what you need to do. And Aquarius is, you guys can easily get lost into your mind. So I suggest we all take a little page out of that book if we're not totally sure, or it's not blade, like the rest of us, other than the Aquarius and the fixed placements, it may not be like so loud in our face what the negative self-talk loop is, but we can all take a little page out of the book and focus on like, okay, where am I not practicing self-love? I think that's something that we should be checking in with ourselves a lot and saying, okay, today, am I practicing self-love? Today, do I love myself? Sit there alone, say, is there anything that's a part of me as I sit here alone that comes up that sort of makes a weird feeling in my stomach or in my heart when it comes to self-love? And focus on that. And the more we bring the awareness, soon will come the answer on how to bust through that. Because you guys are all fabulous. Everyone is fabulous, all right? Believe in yourself. Believe in your alignment. Now, again, in general, like I said, with this transit, we'll be hearing about the equality finally happening, or maybe exposure of things that aren't equal in the workplace, out in politics, out in the world in general. So I'm interested. Again, my news people on there, send me some articles if you guys run across any of that. And embracing, this is again for the general, kind of like I said, embracing your masculine, feminine side. Also feeling like you want to be more liberated or around liberated people. And that's in general. I feel Aquarius placement is very liberating. It's very free. It's very open. So again, liberating beyond. And again, not caring so much about the material realm, especially for my Leo placements, because this is going to be happening opposite you. So this may expose to you where you can be a little materialistic, and maybe it's not for the best, or maybe it's not serving you now, or maybe it is serving you. Maybe it is serving you, and you're like, all right, well, I don't really care. I love that. But I think in the sign of Aquarius, there's a lot, and that's why there's a little opposition with Aquarius and Leo energy, because Aquarius is like, I don't give a shit about anything. And it's funny, my Aquarius placement son was just talking about this the other day. I don't remember where we were at the mall, or I don't remember what we were saying. He said he doesn't understand why everyone always needs a new car, why they don't run it out until the very end, like why do they he thinks it's dumb that people need all this new stuff all the time. So that's a very strong Aquarius energy. So that's why I feel like it's kind of exposing that material realm. Now, the theme, now we're leading into this. So we're feeling liberated. We're feeling free. We're not caring so much about the material realm. And this is going to be kind of the strong for my fixed signs, like I said at the beginning, leaning into the full moon. Now, my full moon people, this is where it kicks in, my mutable placements. That is my Gemini, my Virgo, my Sagittarius, my Pisces, you guys are going to be feeling this full moon the biggest. So again, we're having that beginning theme coming from that Venus-Mars conjunction around the theme of exposure. But I also feel the exposure will be a little bit of a soft-hearted but realistic exposure. And we will release the exposure with this full moon in Virgo. Now, the full moon in Virgo, the people feeling this, like I said, will be my mutable placements. And so as we begin the full moon, we're beginning Mercury, where actually Mercury's in its detriment in Pisces. In its fall, it's not working at best in Pisces. It sort of loses that ability to make sense of what it's feeling and gets lost in the feelings. And also sometimes communication doesn't come off very clearly. It can feel, in general, when Mercury moves into its fall or detriment, into Pisces or Sagittarius, it can feel a little bit like Mercury retrograde, coupled with a full moon in Virgo. So Mercury enters Pisces at the beginning of this full moon. And with that, like I said, the energy starting Friday can be a little bit like a Mercury retrograde feeling, especially for my mutable placements. So this could bring some miscommunication, just an FYI. This could bring a breakthrough of communication, but it may not come out. It may come out as an oopsies at first, like, oops, I didn't mean to say that, but here we are, so we might as well have the conversation. It will pass. The hard part will pass. However, it may lead to permanent outcomes because Saturn is in Pisces right now. So Saturn is in there within the season. So Saturn is in Pisces in connection with this full moon. And Saturn, as you know, will bring stops, blocks, and endings. And big endings that, are changing and shifting. This can also bring... Wait, I lost all... Where'd I... Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm sorry. My little Remington snuck down here to grab my phone because he wanted to give himself more iPad time. They're off because it's Monday, and he knew that I wasn't going to yell at him, so that just distracted me a little bit, but he's going to get it taken away when I get off of this podcast. Okay, so again, with the full moon with Saturn, we are looking, and again, it's been a very long time since we've had full moon, probably 15 years when Saturn was in Virgo. That way, Saturn was in connection with the Leo, every 15 years with the Virgo Pisces. And then it's been 30 years, since a full moon in Virgo, this was happening opposite Saturn. So you get what I'm saying? Saturn is there, and Saturn is not often in Pisces and Virgo. So that's why I'm saying this for my mutable placements. This will be a little bit bigger within that. There will be closure when it comes to boundaries, finally closing boundaries, maybe opening boundaries up. This can also bust through boundaries, feelings. Also, this can bring feelings of overwhelmed energy with responsibility. This can either be like, okay, I can't take this anymore. I cannot take this responsibility anymore. I do not want this. So I need to move forward. And again, this will be strongest for my mutable energy. Releasing fears or anxieties, and those will be coming to a head, seeing those fears and anxieties. Saturn there will bring up those long lost fears of anxieties, especially if you don't have them often. They will be coming up a little bit with this full moon. And in order to release them, to look at it and get beyond that fear, things like that will come to a head. And this will be aligning your life with a nice environment again, aligning your life within your environment again, kind of getting that back into a little bit of an even keel. Though life is always, it's never fully even. It's even for moments. So we're getting back into an even season until a couple months go down the road and something else, swings that pendulum to the other side, and that's just the way life goes. But for right now, we're aligning again as we move into the springtime. We're finishing up winter, and we're moving into the springtime with the Pisces season. So if you've been lacking in your life, somewhere, and you need order again, maybe it's with your mind, body, or soul, maybe it's with the home, maybe it's with your schedule, maybe it's with work, maybe it's with kids, maybe it's with your self-care time, you are going to get your life in order, and the lack of order, chaos will be revealed this weekend and with this full moon, especially for my mutable signs. And we're the ones who tend to get lost in the chaos in general. That's what that happens. So this full moon will reveal to us how we change and shift. We're always shifting and growing and changing. It's just whether or not we allow it. The mutable energy of this full moon, each time we have a full moon in the mutable energy, it teaches us, for those non-mutable energy people, to know that actually every moment, every step, every relationship, every experience is actually molding and changing us and growing us. Now, sometimes my more fixed placements have a hard time accepting that. They are like, no, I am the idea. I am the concept. I am what I believe in from the time I was 7. And that's not shifting. However, that's also not always feasible, because then you're still trying to like fix, create, and control something for your comfort zone. And this is about busting through the comfort zone whenever we have these immutable signs. I'm sorry. I had a cold last week and it's still coughing away a little bit here. So we're going to take on that energy and we're going to allow it to just flow. And again, sometimes we're in this state of that flow, but often a lot of people are blocking it, resisting it, because they're afraid of the other side. They're afraid of getting out of their comfort zone. And there's so many different layers to getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, basically anything that is outside of your norm is getting out of your comfort zone. So these are some of the things I want you to ask. Are you feeling open to the new parts of yourself that you feel shifting inside of you? So this is a full moon reflection question. Write that down. I'm going to ask it again. Are you feeling open to the new parts of yourself that you feel shifting inside of you? You feel those shifting. Are you scared? Are you scared to bust through it and accept it and honor it and allow life to unfold once you acknowledge this change inside of yourself? That's why we're scared. We feel this change inside of ourselves, but if we come out with this change, it's kind of like, oh my God, what way is life going to go? And I can't control it. But the real secret is you really can't control it, even when you think you can. So, and also, when you let go, also remember, when you let go, you're often met with this amazing new alignment within yourself, new energy, new experiences, new levels. You just have to break through that comfort zone, and you just got to accept the shifts, the changes that are inside of you. We are meant to evolve. So again, ask yourself too and reflect on this. What am I afraid of if I let go? What am I afraid of if I let go of this identity? What am I afraid of if I let go of this relationship? What am I afraid of if I let go of this boundary? What am I afraid of if I let go of this responsibility? These are the things that are going to be coming up. But you need to sit with yourself, give yourself 5-10 minutes, and I hope it turns into 20, but give yourself 5 or 10 minutes and reflect with nothing but maybe some wind chimes or some frequency music on these questions. Write them down, because you will get a much deeper understanding of yourself and what this full moon is bringing to your attention at this time of the year. Because remember, every month, every season, every zodiac, we're changing and we're shifting, yet we're going back through cycles. So allow that to happen. And I invite you guys all, especially for my non-mutable placements, to allow that to unfold. Take on this energy. So if you feel something shifting inside of you, embrace it. Allow it. Don't worry how the rest of your life will align once you embrace that, because it will. There are things working around us that we can't even understand, see, or comprehend. But when we let go, we align. And that's one thing I know more than anything. When we let go, we align. I hope you guys have a beautiful full moon. I hope you let go. I hope it's transformative. And I hope that you guys, act like a mutable person and just keep moving. Enjoy your week. Thank you, everyone. The best way to support this podcast right now is to rate, review it, subscribe it, send it to a friend. I'm fully self-supporting. And again, that each time you do that, that helps get this podcast out there, and I greatly appreciate it. I am on social media, Cosmic Colleen, one C in the middle, but as you guys know, I've been on a social media break for like 6 months. I mean, I slowed down at the end of summer when Virgo season came in. I went on a 6-week break, and I just have not had the energy to do much beyond that. I'm sure I will get back to it when Saturn moves out of my, out of communication with my sun in Gemini. But until then, I guess you get what you get. But the true GOAT is this podcast anyways. That's really where I give out all the information to all of you. So thank you. Have a beautiful moon. I love you all. Goodbye.